Greetings, YouTube. Welcome back to the channel. Full disclosure, I am muting the still currently live Kabam live stream that has gone well over an hour. By the time I'm sure that it ends, because that is normally what happens. They take their time. I think that's a good thing. I've seen a lot of feedback. I have so many video topics to explore this weekend. But Everest content for 2024 is basically like a fancy way to say content for the most stacked rosters, the most seasoned players, in some cases, though not in my case, the best skilled players. Basically, things to keep them interested and on the hook to be motivated to spend money so they don't leave the game. And we have seen several people who used to care about Everest content in the past couple years, especially when 7 stars came out, leave the game. Kabam does not want that to continue. They want people to continue to progress. And so we have, starting next Wednesday, I do declare, a Eternity of Pain 2.0, where every 2 weeks we have a fight. And that fight is going to be challenging and with special objectives. It's challenging if you use anybody, but it's especially challenging with tags of certain champions that you can only use. We haven't seen this for over a year. We did not see this in the summer of 2023 because we were waiting for Necropolis details to come out. This used to either not have an energy cost or have a very low energy cost. In terms of the nodes, that's still the case, but in terms of the energy per tile, that is not the case at all. It is 5 energy cost per node, which I believe is Kabam's way of incentivizing you to not just keep quitting and restarting, but actually to use some revives earlier. However, I will say that at least in my experience, and I know it's just my experience, it is much easier to get full energy refills and even small energy refills now than it's ever been. So a full energy refill, 70 energy, you're going to be able to do so many quit outs and run throughs. I still say do at least the strategy that I do when it comes to Eternity of Pain, and that is most notably to wait until you get around at least 50% of the health down before using a revive. Don't do it after 5% or 1% or even 10%. Give yourself some practice. It's still unlimited entries, so you're only hurting yourself by not doing that. At the same time, there's going to be so many weeks and fights and months with this. So many things that are going to keep us busy because Kabam wants us to be on the hook since between February and April. That's when spring cleaning, which leads to July 4th sales. They want us to get enough content to care about to log into the game every day so that we're not just spending on whale holidays and then nothing else. But if it's side quest and event quest, it is definitely going to be boring to so many people. I mean, those rewards are just the worst. And yet, that's what we have to look forward to. Just pennies on the dollar of what you're hoping to get. So in the meantime, it is worth noting that these details are finalized in terms of the calendar, in terms of the nodes, in terms of the fights, and in terms of the rewards, which I think is what so many people, including myself, want to say. The rewards are game-changing. They are, say it with me, the economy of the game changing forever type of rewards, because we have not seen 7-star 6 stones in the contest. That is about to change for some players. First 4 fights will have 2 Paragon objectives and 1 Valiant objective. This is like it was with Paragon and Thronebreaker, only now everything's moved up. So Thronebreakers, who previously were able to do this content, now are going to be locked out. If you are not Paragon, you will not see this. You will not get to do it. This is progression locked. And Kabam Jax was pretty open about the fact that he was not able to do this today if it went live because he is still Thronebreaker. I believe in you, Kabam Jax. If you ever watch this video, I think you can become Paragon. There are so many people who are willing to help you. by giving you the best advice possible. There are breakdowns of the best champs to bring. You've got so many friends in the community. Get it done, man. You can do it. All right. Look at this calendar. This goes from February to May. This goes through spring cleaning. The finale is essentially the last month of the season from April 3rd to May 1st. That's a long time. But this is really what we want to spend the majority of the remaining time of this video on. Because it starts out with some rewards that, especially for Valiant players, are very average. 6-star shards, rank up materials, tier 6 basic, tier 3 alpha. That's stuff I get every week for free with the daily Valiant crystals. Of course, so many people watching this are Paragon because they haven't had, understandably, the resources, the time, the energy to explore Necropolis. And that was the only way they could do it unless you whaled out and had the money, which, again, a lot of people understandably didn't, to blow on Cyber Weekend. So it ramps up pretty fast. The 106 6-star generic 6 stones are really what I care about most. I'm more excited about those than 7-star shards or Abyss Nexus, which guarantee no value whatsoever. Tier 2 Primordial Dust is obviously going to be a big, exciting thing for people who are looking to ascend their next 6-star. More Titan Crystal Shards, more 7-star shards, more tier 6 basic, more tier 3 alpha. Those things are pretty average value right now in February. By the time this ends in May, I imagine they're going to be like getting tier 2 alpha and tier 5 basic from yesteryear. Just something that is not at all rare. However, take a look at the bottom right. We're going to zoom in here. 7-star 6-stone crystals leading to, for the first time ever, 10 7-star generic 6 stones, not crystals, but generics. But notice that Paragon players will not be able to get anything past the milestone number 7 for 18 points. So the final two, with more 7-star 6-stone crystals, and yes, 6 stones, are Valiant. And this starts next week, so at least at the beginning, a lot of players are not going to be able to get the points they're used to because they're not going to be able to become Valiant by next week. So that's going to be controversial in itself. I just want to say this. I get the frustration, right? I get the frustration. It makes a lot of sense, and yet that's the reality of the world that we live in. And so tier 4 alpha fragments, again, a very small amount. Paragon players get about half of one. In fact, I think that is exactly half of one. Half of a tier 4 alpha. Not much. You'd think they'd at least get one fully formed. The 7-star 6-stone crystals, mainly for Valiant players. The Titan Crystal Shards, either open a Titan Crystal or 25% of one. That's the difference. 7-star shards are the same. Tier 2 Primordial Dust. But man, this is really making Paragon players feel so frustrated, jealous, angry, all that justice for blob energy. I get it. This is the reality of everything that we're dealing with right now with so many Paragon players unable to become Valiant. I feel guilty that I am Valiant. It's because of YouTube. It's not because of my skills. Let's be very honest about that. And I will never deny that, because to deny that would be denying factual existence. In the end, congratulations to those of you who are Valiant, but at the same time, Paragon players, I feel for you. Sometimes these fights are going to be doable. Sometimes they may not be. The rewards are good, but not spectacular until the very end, but it is a way to keep us interested for the next several months. This is my feedback for Summer of Pain 2.0, and with the ending rewards, with those 7-star 6 stones, yes, the economy of the game has changed forever.